Hey guys, I guess while waiting for Aries banner to drop so that I can try to my luck on drawing for Rinoa BT there, I decided to just do a quick clear on the E11 reckoning using the Zell cheese strategy. And it's not really an original strat here. Theologica, I believe, was the first person who uploaded a video on it, and there's even a Reddit post by Final Asim on how the strategy works here. I'll quickly cover a little bit about how to get this strat going. What you really need, of course, is Zell, and you don't really need a lot built for Zell. Maybe just his 15 CP weapon should be enough. In context, or for context, my Zell actually doesn't even have his LD. I never pulled for his LD before, and he's also at force level 10. When you bring Zell for this strategy, you want to remove every single skill that he has, except only for his S1 punch rush. The second component to this is getting somebody that can trigger the blue aura on the bosses like so. You need somebody who can take at least 4 consecutive instant turns in a row. The Dragoons, Freya and Kain are pretty good for this because their additional ability and LD are instant turns, so they can easily fulfill this. Plus they also provide the often damage to help you push damage throughout the cheese. Freya in particular, I believe is maybe can be done without her, but it's going to be extremely tough. I highly recommend if you have Freya just to bring her here for the cheese. And that's because her often damage also heals the entire party and batteries Zell as well. The healing component is quite important because at every odd HP threshold, so 79, 59, 39 and 19%, the bosses will reduce your HP to 20%. The attack can't kill you because it's a gravity HP reduction, but you do need to heal from that attack. And Freya is really the best way to do it because Zell by himself naturally isn't able to heal. Finally, the third component for the cheese is the Raijin LD call, and I highly recommend to bring it along because it helps you to avoid the debuff, most notably the 70% force gauge debuff, which applies paralysis on your party, and that can have the potential to stop the cheese. The Raijin LD call also neuters their force attack when they reach 100% force time. With that debuff up, that attack should be doing 0 HP damage to your party. If you don't have the Raijin LD call, another option is to wait until the bosses are above 20% force gauge, and after that use the Rinoa LD call to apply pyramid, so that pyramid will prevent paralysis from landing. To note, in case you're not aware, the debuffs at 20%, 70% and 80% force gauge that the bosses do on you cannot be evaded by debuff evasion or debuff immunity. Those are guaranteed hit. That's really all you need for the cheese to get going. As you can see, I've already actually started the cheese here with Zell, and it's on auto plus. The moment you get the blue aura on the bosses and you land the Raijin LD call, you can then just use auto plus and Zell will just do punch rush all the way until the bosses are dead. The third party member I used here is Shantoto, and the only reason she's here is because I used her to solo the right crucible and I wanted to bring a third party member for another call slot, and I guess her LD debuff has a nice defense down as well, which helps Zell. But ideally speaking, if you really want this brand to go faster, because it does take quite a bit of time, the third party member can be another often damage dealer. Kain is the best example here because Kain also can have a BT aura that helps Zell push damage, has nice often damage, and in terms of reaching to the reckoning stage, Kain is a black crystal, so he fulfills the crystal requirement on the right crucible at least. In real time, my run here took close to an hour to complete, but it's really not optimized, and you can probably shave off a significant portion of time if you further optimize. Like I said, if you have, for example, Kain as a third character instead of Shantoto. My Zell himself also isn't really fully built. He's only had base high armor. He does have the 505 Feast ultimate weapon that I took from my Tifa, but he's otherwise only at force level 10 and doesn't even have his LD or his LD bots. In terms of call abilities, beyond the Raijin LD call, you should consider some sort of HP damage up to help Zell push damage. General Leo is also an excellent call here. I put him on my Shantoto. With the General Leo LD call, you can see Zell does a little bit of extra damage every time he attacks, and that really adds up throughout the course of the fight. In case you're wondering why the cheese works here, and the bosses get a blue aura after you take 4 consecutive instant turns, the blue aura prevents your entire party from gaining any new buffs. Zell's Punch Rush is an instant turn and free ability that is supposed to give him his dual buff so that he can then chain into other attacks, but because he can't now gain the dual buff due to the blue aura, he's stuck doing Punch Rush over and over again. This is really sort of like a temporary clear for me. I actually initially planned to solo the Reckoning with Rinoa, but like I said, I didn't manage to snag her BT on her banner, and I have a lot of tickets that are going to expire. I did a rough count and it's about 600 tickets that will expire in 2 weeks. So after some thinking, I decided to just hold off for a couple of days until Aries' banner drop, and then I'll throw all 600 tickets on her banner. At least I can score Aries FR on the way to Rinoa's BT. I'm not so sure whether I can even get the Rinoa solo done. Most people who did the Rinoa solo, as far as I can see, used the Cater LD call, and unfortunately I don't have Cater as LD, so I will have to try it out with another LD call ability. I do have some ideas on some that might work, but it's going to be quite tricky. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'll just skip ahead to a later section in the fight, because essentially it's just Punch Rush and Booyah all the way.
A few moments later.
Phew, okay, 1 down and 1 boss to go.
2,000 years later.
So that's it for this run. Do stay tuned for hopefully my successful Rinoa solo later on in a couple of days time. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next event. Bye!